Hey, you're here with Ben, and welcome back to my Rothenburg weekend, where today it's all about the food. We're Ben and Camille, two foreigners living in Munich, Germany, and over the past 3 years we've documented all of our adventures with one goal in mind: helping you travel by not just inspiring you, but fundamentally empowering you with all the knowledge you need to get out there and do it for yourself. Today we're going to be finishing off our weekend in Rothenburg with a food tour. Good second morning to you all. As you are well aware, this is our second day in Rothenburg. We came for a full weekend. Now, I do hope you watched the first video where we did our self-guided tour and visited all of the shops, because then you'd know what today's video is all about. Or I guess you could have also looked at the thumbnail. That's right, it's time for a food tour. There was no way we could cover all of Rothenburg in one video, so we're making the second one all about food and snacks. So let's get started with breakfast, and I tell you what, my sweet tooth is a-calling. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't think of a better way to start off this video than indulging in what might be my favorite aspect of living and traveling in Germany. Now, this isn't unique to Rothenburg by any stretch of the means, and that is Kaffeekuchen culture. And if you're not in the know, it just means coffee and cake. There are so many wonderful Conditereis littered around Germany. We can just hang out with your friends, get some high quality cake, and just relax. What's better than that? But for me, I'm gonna be going to this orange one right here. The best part about any Conditorei has to be the display case, as this is where we're going to get down to brass tacks and make our cake selection. Now, different regions are going to be famous for different styles and different recipes, so never be afraid to ask for recommendations. I've never met an unfriendly baker. Today though, I simply went for something with a bit of chocolate and a bit of marzipan, while Camille treated herself to a classic Black Forest cake.
Oh my gosh, this is the first time I've had Black Forest cake in Germany, weirdly enough, and I always forget how alcoholic the cherries are. It's like sting your mouth alcoholic. It's really good and I love it, but it is a lot to get used to.
Alright, so if your sweet tooth isn't completely satiated from Kaffeekuchen earlier, there is one more treat I might recommend you give a go when you're here in Rothenburg that is a little bit more of the area. You see, it's a Christmas market staple, the Schneeballen, the snowball. And what it is quite strange. It's a variety of what to me seem like off-cuttings from pie crusts that they ball together, fry it, and then cover it in powdered sugar to make it look like a snowball. Though nowadays you can get them covered in chocolate and all sorts of stuff. I've had it maybe 2 years ago, back when Christmas markets were a thing, thinking that it was something completely different. I thought it was just a big ball of marzipan and chocolate, so I was quite surprised when I bit in and got to all of like the pie off-cuttings. People describe it as tasting a little bit like a wonton because it's not the sweetest pastry you'll ever fry. I didn't love it, but I don't know if it was the best representation of the whole thing anyway. So we went for two different types because, you know, giving it the good old college try again. That is, of course, the vanilla, a white chocolate and chocolate mix. That's the one for me. And then Camille, because she's never had it before at all, is going for the normal snowball. They also come in large, if that's your thing. Alright, so I guess no more putting it off though. It's the moment of truth. We need to try it. They say that these keep really well, which is why they make so many in this town and export them all to the markets. So will this be any fresher? Will I like it any more? No more stalling. Crumbs on my sleeve. Well, it's very crumbly. It's way better than the one I had years ago. Absolutely way better. I mean, it's not going to be my favorite thing to get at a Conditorei. Not by a long shot, but it doesn't taste like wontons. That first one really, really did. This one, not at all. The pastry itself is a lot more crumbly, a lot softer. The one I had previously was really hard. So this is actually quite nice. I'm well pleased. I was really quite nervous. I was mostly putting it in the video for you guys. I was like, we can just show them what this is. But no, I'm glad I got this.
All right, so it's time for me to try this thing. I've never had it before. I just saw Ben have the unfortunate Schneeball at the Munich Christmas market 2 years ago. So, okay, time to try it.
I told you it's pretty crumbly, huh?
Mm-hmm, when a car coming. It's the same car!
We're trying to create art.
It's very soft. I remember the unfortunate one you had in Munich was like hard, like I felt like I was gonna break my teeth, but it's super soft. You bite into it and it just sort of crumbles. The individual dough strips you can kind of bite through, and it's, I don't know, it just has this really nice like fried, slightly sweet sort of taste. Something that I really love about German confectionery is that it's not nearly as like over the top sweet as like American confectionery. It's a lot more refined. I feel like the flavors are a lot more balanced. It's not just like in your face sweet like a lot of American desserts. So I'm gonna finish this and we're gonna move on to the next thing.
Now, to finish off our food video with a bang, we're going to be going to Hell, or more specifically, restaurant Zur Höll. Most notable because it is the oldest house in all of Rothenburg, with its foundations dating back to the 900s. And it's as difficult to get a reservation at as it is old, meaning you should plan well ahead or come in the off-season like I did. The interior is incredibly quaint, but it does remind me a little bit more of my home in England than it does my home in Munich. And if you do plan early enough ahead, you can even snag a special spot inside their Keller, their ancient basement. Now, of course, that's all well and good, ambiance and all that, but is the food any good? Well, I hope so. The reviews online are mixed, and they serve a variety of traditional Bavarian and Franconian dishes that I'm really excited to try. But the only way to find out for sure is for me to go try it. So for starters, I went with the local Helles, and let's give it a go. Yeah, tastes like a wonderful Helles. I would always just recommend getting whatever is the local brewery of your area. In Bavaria, you're probably not going to be trying anything shocking, but they're still really lovely nonetheless. But we're not here for Helles. We're here for Franconian sausages, which are raw and smoked, and I've never had one before. They're served cold with some warm bread and butter. Let's give it a go. All the other food came while we were preparing to eat this one, and damn am I excited. But back to smoked sausage. That's strong. The smokiness is very subtle, but man, there's just something about raw meat, right? It is a strong flavor. You'll know whether or not you like it, and if you don't, then you should try it to find out. Myself, I do like it. I like a lot of raw red meat. I've had all kinds of weird ones, from horse in Japan to everything over in England. So yeah, I quite like this one, but I would understand if it's not for you. But make sure you try it before you hate it. But now we need to move on to mains, because they're here and they're hot and I want to eat them before they get cold. Now, call me English, but when they told me that one of today's specials was a good roast beef, well, I just had to have it, so I'm really excited about that. They do it with fried onions on top, a bit of gravy, and Spätzle, which for those not in the know, it's kind of a German noodle, and it's easily my favorite noodle. Usually, I eat it as Käse Spätzle with a bunch of cheese, but this is plain, so it can soak up the gravy. If there's any cut of meat that I really like in Germany and know quite well, it's the roast beef cut that they do, because that is my go-to when I'm cooking meals. So I've inflicted many a roast beef on my friends. Yeah, that's wonderful. You can tell it's good because I'm already ready for the second one. That is really good. So tender on the inside, the outside is perfectly seared. It's just really wonderful. It was one of the better roast beefs I think I've had in a long time. I mean, the gravy is wonderful, the Spätzle is lovely. I mean, this is a really good meal. I'm well chuffed, but now I really want to eat it. We're losing heat by the second.
On the specials menu, they had some fish. I was getting pretty jealous watching Ben eat his food, so luckily they've got me taken care of. I've gotten a salmon on a bed of risotto. It's not the most German or traditional thing to have here, but I'm really excited. So let's try it. Okay, how do I eat this? Oh, the outside of the fish is like really crispy and nicely done. Okay, it smells really good. The fish is really well done. It's like the perfect amount of moist, and the fish skin on top is like nice and flavorful and crackling. I'm gonna try another bite. Oh, that risotto is really good. Oh, I'm so happy. All three of the things in this dish are like really perfectly done, especially the risotto. And when you take a bite together, it just tastes so good. I love it when flavors like complement each other and blend and work together really well. This is really good.
So you can probably tell by the lighting, we were in there a hot minute, that's for sure. And I've got to tell you, it exceeded my expectations. From the reviews I read online, you know, I wasn't quite sure if it was going to live up to all the hype, but I tell you what, at least for me, tonight, it was wonderful. The food was cooked so well, the service was great. I couldn't have enjoyed it more if I tried. But let me know your experiences in the comments below. Have you been here before? Are you a local? Do you know more than me? In which case, I would really love to know, because I am quite confused. The reviews online aren't glowing, but mine sure is. So yeah, if you agree with me or disagree, let me know in the comments. And I'm afraid to say, folks, this marks the end of not only our Rothenburg food tour, but our weekend as well. I've had a really great time here, from the amazing castle walls and museums in the previous video, to that gorgeous roast beef that capped off this one. Rothenburg has a thumbs up from me. Now, if you've watched this whole Rothenburg mini-series, then let me know in the comments, let me know what you think, because there are a lot more towns I'd love to go see. And of course, if you haven't watched the other video, then why not do that now? I'm sure if you've made it this far, you'll love it. And lastly, just thanks for sticking around. I hope you subscribe if you've really liked it, and I'll see you in the next video, no matter what that might be. Can you do that just like a bit more aggressively?
Looks like Wait, what is it? Looks like Schneeballs are back on the menu, boys.
Can you do it louder?
No, no. It's so embarrassing.
Looks like Schneeballs are back on the menu.
Boys.
Boys.
Wait for the... Oh, his name is Frankie, and he likes FC Bayern.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Cake reaction. Raw. Real time.
Real cake reactions of Rothenburg, oldet, Tauber.
Dude, we were like eerily in sync. I hope that came up on the microphone.